There is a profound and often humorous truth that governs the invisible machinery of your existence, and it is a truth that once understood turns the tragedy of life into a divine comedy with a triumphant ending. You must realize that the universe is not sitting in judgment of you, nor is it indifferent to your plight. It is acting with precise and mathematical exactness as a divine storehouse, or, if you will permit the analogy, a grand cosmic restaurant that is open 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. You are the sole customer sitting at the table of your life, and you have been sitting there since the moment you drew your first breath. This restaurant is unique because it possesses a kitchen of infinite capacity and a staff of invisible forces that move with the speed of light to fulfill every request. The tragedy of the human condition is not that the kitchen is empty, or that the service is slow, or that the prices are too high. The tragedy is that the vast majority of humanity does not know how to read the menu, and they certainly do not know how to order. They sit at this banquet table of abundance, where health and wealth and love are prepared and waiting, and they unconsciously order misery. Imagine for a moment that you walked into a physical restaurant, and the waiter approached you with a pen and pad ready to take your command. Would you look at him and say, "I will take a large platter of indigestion with a side of food poisoning, and please make sure the bill is more than I can afford"? Of course you would not. You would call that insanity. Yet this is exactly what you are doing in the mental realm every single hour of every single day. Every thought you think is an order placed with the universal kitchen. Every word you speak is a specific instruction to the chef. Every emotion you dwell upon is the signature on the check. When you wake up in the morning and immediately start worrying about your debt, you are literally looking at the waiter and saying, "I will have the lack again today, please, but make it a double portion." When you gossip about your neighbors or complain about your health, you are ordering a dish of conflict and a bowl of sickness. And because the great law is a faithful servant, it brings you exactly what you ordered. Then, when the dish of misery arrives at your table, you look at it and cry out, "Why is this happening to me?" It is happening to you because you asked for it, not with your conscious desire, but with your subconscious expectation. You must understand that the kitchen of the infinite does not judge your order. The chef does not come out and say, "Are you sure you want the anxiety supreme again? You had that yesterday, and it made you sick." The law is neutral. It is impersonal. It is like electricity. Electricity will light your home and cook your food, or it will burn your house down if you violate its laws. It does not care. It only serves. This neutrality is terrifying to the unawakened mind, but it is the ultimate liberation for the master. It means that if you have the power to order a life of chaos, you also possess the exact same power to order a life of miracles. The mechanism is the same. The energy is the same. The only thing that changes is your selection from the menu. Right now, in this very moment, you are either attracting the energy of the kingdom or you are attracting the energy of the wilderness. There is no middle ground. You cannot sit at the table and not order. To think is to order. To fear is to order. To hope is to order. The stream of creation is flowing through you constantly, and it takes the shape of whatever vessel you offer it. Let us go deeper into this understanding. Most people are walking through life as sleepwalkers. They are eating a meal they do not remember ordering. They believe that the events of their lives are random accidents or the result of luck or the malice of others. They are victims of the menu rather than masters of it. I see you right now. Maybe you are watching this video while you are supposed to be doing something else, or maybe you are lying in bed staring at the ceiling because your mind will not stop serving you a buffet of problems. You have tried to send the food back. You have tried to argue with the waiter. You have read the self-help books and bought the crystals and tried to breathe your way into peace. But the buffet of problems keeps replenishing itself. Why? Because you have not changed the signal. You are trying to change the food on the table without changing the order in the kitchen. You cannot fix a poverty problem by worrying about poverty, because worrying is the act of ordering more poverty. You cannot fix a relationship problem by replaying the argument in your mind, because replaying the argument is the act of ordering more conflict. This brings us to the second vital concept you must grasp, which is the broadcasting station of the mind. Your mind is not a storage unit for facts and memories. It is the most powerful broadcasting station in your personal universe. It is transmitting a frequency every second of every day. This frequency travels out into the invisible ether of the fourth dimension and connects with everything that matches its vibration. Just as a radio tuner must be set to a specific frequency to hear a specific station, your mind must be tuned to a specific vibration to experience a specific reality. Right now, your station is either playing the hits of heaven or the static of hell. Most people have their internal dial stuck on the worry channel. This channel broadcasts 24 hours a day. Its programming consists of breaking news about what might go wrong. It features weather forecasts of emotional storms. It runs constant advertisements for your insecurities and your doubts. It interviews your past failures and speculates on your future disasters. When you are tuned to the worry channel, you attract the physical equivalent of worry. You attract traffic jams. You attract unexpected bills. You attract difficult people. You attract delay. This is not because the universe is punishing you. It is because the universe is answering you. Misery has terrible taste in music, and it never brings good snacks to the party, yet you keep inviting it in by listening to its station. You wonder why you feel drained. You wonder why you feel stuck. It is because you are broadcasting a signal that repels prosperity. You are a magnet that has been polarized in reverse. Instead of drawing the iron filings of success, you are pushing them away with the invisible force of your own anxiety. But here is the secret that changes everything. You have the hand on the dial. You have always had the hand on the dial. No one is forcing you to listen to the static. No one is forcing you to dwell on the negative thought. You can change the channel. Changing the channel sounds simple, but it requires a vigilance that few people possess. It requires you to wake up at the restaurant table and realize what you are doing. It requires you to look at the menu of life and realize that there are other options. There is a joy channel. There is an abundance channel. There is a health channel. These frequencies are broadcasting right now in the room where you sit. They are not in a distant future. They are here, overlapping, with the frequency of lack. The music of the spheres is playing, but you cannot hear it because your noise is too loud. To tune into the divine broadcast, you must first stop the noise of the mortal mind. You must consciously, deliberately, and forcefully interrupt the pattern of negative ordering. You must look at the waiter of the universe and say, "Cancel that order. I am no longer eating the bread of sorrow. I am now ordering the wine of joy." This metaphor of the restaurant is not merely a poetic device. It is a description of the law of supply. The universe is composed of a spiritual substance that is sensitive to the slightest impression of human thought. When you think a thought, you are stamping that substance with a pattern. If you think a thought of fear, you stamp the substance with a pattern of contraction and limitation. If you think a thought of faith, you stamp the substance with a pattern of expansion and freedom. The kitchen creates the dish based on the mold you provide. If you provide a cracked mold, you will get a cracked vessel. If you provide a small cup, you can only receive a small amount of water. The ocean is not stingy, but if you come to the ocean with a teaspoon, you cannot blame the ocean for your thirst. You must enlarge your vessel. You must enlarge your expectation. You must dare to order from the top of the menu where the king's portion resides. Why do we settle for the crumbs when the banquet is laid out before us? It is because we have been conditioned to believe that we are unworthy customers. We have been told that we must earn our seat at the table through suffering and hard labor. We have been told that it is noble to be poor and spiritual to be sad. These are lies that have been whispered to you by the race consciousness of fear. You are a child of the King. You have a divine right to the abundance of the storehouse. The check has already been. It was paid for by the very fact of your existence. You do not need to wash dishes in the back to earn your meal. You only need to sit down with dignity and order with authority. So, today we are going to learn how to read the menu correctly. We are going to learn the language of the high order. We are going to stop asking for what we do not want and start commanding what we do want. We are going to turn the dial of your mental radio from the static of fear to the symphony of faith. This is not a passive process. You cannot just sit there and hope the channel changes itself. You must reach out with the hand of your will and turn the knob. You must ignore the static while you tune. You must ignore the appearance of the half-eaten meal of misery in front of you. That meal is the result of your past orders. It is old news. Do not eat it. Push it aside. Clear the table. The waiter is waiting. The pen is poised. The kitchen is ready. What will you order in this holy instant? Will you order another day of the same, or will you order the miracle? The choice is yours, and the time to choose is now. We must now strip away the confusion that surrounds the operation of the universe, because despite what the intellectuals and the philosophers have tried to tell you, the mechanics of reality are not complicated. They are actually terrifyingly simple. The universe is not a riddle wrapped in a mystery. It is a great-looking glass. It acts as a cosmic mirror that stands before you at every moment of your existence. This mirror is distinct from the glass mirror in your bathroom, which only reflects your physical shell. The mirror of the Almighty reflects your vibration. It reflects the unseen atmosphere of your soul. It does not judge the image you place before it. It does not play favorites. It does not say that one man is worthy of a reflection while another is not. It simply reflects. If you stand before a mirror and frown, the mirror does not try to cheer you up. It does not try to correct your expression. It reflects the frown back to you with mathematical exactness. If you stand before the mirror and weep, it reflects your tears. But if you stand before the mirror and smile, it has no choice but to smile back. This is the impartiality of the divine law. Most people live their entire lives trying to change the reflection without changing the face. They try to manipulate the outer world of circumstances while keeping their inner world of thoughts filled with darkness. They try to wipe the frown off the glass instead of wiping the frown off their face. This is the definition of futility. It is the exhaustion of the human race. You must understand that the universe receives your vibration as a set of instructions. If you wake up every morning and your first thought is a heavy sigh of dread for another day, guess what the universe heard? You just ordered another day of heaviness. The kitchen we spoke of in the previous section is already preparing the dish of fatigue, because that is the face you showed the mirror. You cannot show the mirror a face of despair and expect it to reflect a life of joy. It is a violation of physics. The law of reflection is absolute. But here is where the mechanism gets truly fascinating and where your power truly lies. We must speak of the subconscious mind. If the conscious mind is the captain of the ship, the subconscious mind is the engine room. It is the faithful servant that never sleeps. It is the scribe of the heavens. Imagine that inside of you, there is a diligent assistant who follows you around 24 hours a day with a notepad and a pen. This assistant has one job, and one job only, which is to take dictation. It writes down every thought you think with feeling. It records every word you speak with conviction. It captures every image you hold in your imagination. And here is the critical key. This servant does not have a sense of humor. It does not understand sarcasm. It does not know the difference between what is real and what you are vividly imagining. It takes everything you tell it literally and seriously. When you are lying in bed at night, catastrophizing about everything that could go wrong, tomorrow you are not merely worrying. You are giving a presentation to your subconscious mind. You are saying, here is the blueprint of what I want. You imagine the car breaking down. The scribe writes it down. You imagine the awkward conversation with your boss. The scribe writes it down. You imagine the bank account hitting zero. The scribe writes it down, underlining it for emphasis. Your subconscious takes these notes like an overachieving student who wants to get an A+ in the class of reality creation. It says the master is focusing on disaster with such intensity that he must really desire it. I will go out and create circumstances that match this fear. I will arrange the events to ensure his nightmare comes true because he has given me such clear instructions. This is the most inconvenient superpower you possess. You are a creator who has forgotten how to stop creating. You are creating with your fear just as powerfully as you are creating with your faith. In fact, for most people, fear is a stronger form of prayer than their actual prayers. Why? Because fear is highly emotionalized. Remember that the subconscious mind is impressed by feeling, not just by intellect. You can say I am rich 1,000 times with a flat voice and nothing will happen. But if you worry about being poor for 10 minutes with a knotted stomach and a racing heart, you have impressed the subconscious deeply. You have stamped the wax with the seal of your terror. And the universe, which is the mirror, reflects that terror back to you as a physical condition. I hear the objection of the reasoning mind rising up within you right now. You are thinking, but I have real problems. My problems are not just in my head. They are on paper, they are in my body, they are in my house. And you are right, to a degree. I am not suggesting that you just think happy thoughts and ignore reality like some sort of delusional dreamer. We do not deny the facts, but we deny their permanence. What I am saying is that your thoughts about your problems are the cement that holds the problems in place. By focusing on the problem, you are feeding it. You are giving it your life force. You are telling the scribe to make a copy of this problem for tomorrow and the next day and the next. The problem exists as a shadow. If you stop casting the shadow, the darkness must vanish. But you keep standing in the same position, holding the same shape of fear, and wondering why the shadow will not move. The subconscious mind is a goal-seeking mechanism. It is like a guided missile system. Once you give it a target, it will find a way to hit it. If you give it the target of debt, it will navigate you through a maze of bad decisions and unexpected expenses until you arrive at the destination of debt. It is incredibly efficient. It will wake you up late. It will make you forget your keys. It will make you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, all to fulfill the picture you held in your mind of a bad day. You call it bad luck. The mystic calls it unconscious creation. You are the architect of your own misfortune. But realize the majesty of this truth. If the subconscious is powerful enough to ruin your life, it is also powerful enough to save it. It does not care which target you give it. It requires the same amount of energy to create $1 million as it does to create a penny. It requires the same amount of effort to heal a cell as it does to destroy one. The mechanism is neutral. The pilot is you. We are going to break the cycle of negative dictation. We are going to fire the old scribe who wrote the book of your tragedies, and we are going to hire a new scribe to write the book of your triumphs. You must understand that every time you say, I am sick, you are handing the blueprint of sickness to the builder. Every time you say, I am tired, you are handing the blueprint of fatigue to the builder. You must stop giving the builder the wrong plans. You must stop being shocked when the house looks exactly like the blueprints you drew in the dark. The secret that changes everything for you, and I mean everything, is understanding that the mirror has no ego. It waits for you. It waits for you to smile first. You cannot wait for the reflection to smile before you do. That is the backward thinking of the world. That is the cart before the horse. You must smile at the mirror while the reflection is still frowning. You must declare abundance while the bank account is still empty. You must declare health while the pain is still there. This requires a mental discipline that feels unnatural at first. It feels like you are lying to yourself, but you are not lying. You are prophesying. You are speaking the truth of the spiritual realm, which is higher than the truth of the material realm. The subconscious mind accepts whatever you repeat with feeling. If you begin to tell it the story of your success with the same intensity that you used to tell it the story of your failure, it will eventually believe you. And the moment the subconscious believes you, the mirror turns. The circumstances begin to rearrange themselves. The seemingly solid walls of your difficulty begin to turn into mist. The right people show up. The right ideas drop into your mind. The right doors open. Not by magic, but by law. You have changed the face, and the mirror must change the reflection. So, as we prepare to move forward into the practical application of this law, you must accept your responsibility. You can no longer blame your parents, or the government, or the economy for the movie playing on the screen of your life. You are the projectionist. The film reel is in your mind. If you do not like the movie, do not yell at the screen. Go back to the projection booth and change the reel. The scribe is waiting. The pen is poised. The page is blank. What will you dictate in this next moment? Will you dictate a tragedy, or will you dictate a victory? The mirror is watching. Show it the face of a master, and it will show you a world mastered. We have established that the universe is a restaurant waiting for your order and a mirror waiting for your reflection, but knowing this intellectual truth is not enough to change your life. Knowledge without application is merely entertainment for the ego. We must now move into the mechanics of the day. We must discuss the specific time when the battle for your destiny is won or lost. It creates a great comedy to observe how men and women live their lives with such backward priorities. People will spend weeks planning a vacation, researching hotels, and reading reviews of restaurants, yet they will not spend 5 minutes planning their thoughts for the day. They will obsess over the clothing they wear on their body, standing in front of the mirror for 20 minutes, deciding between the blue shirt or the white one, but they completely ignore the garment of thought their mind is wearing. Yet I say to you that the garment of thought is infinitely more important than the garment of cotton or silk. It is the garment of thought that determines your reception by the world. You have seen people who wear the garment of heavy depression. They are lovely people who mean well, but they walk into a room and it is as if someone reached for a dimmer switch and lowered the lights. They carry an invisible weight, and everyone around them feels it and instinctively recoils. Conversely, there are those who wear the garment of joy. They walk into a room and the atmosphere lightens. They are not necessarily the most beautiful or the most wealthy, but they radiate a magnetism that draws blessings to them. They expect good, and because they are dressed in expectation, the world invites them to the high table. This brings us to the discipline of the morning watch. You must understand that the first hour of your morning is the rudder of your day. When you first wake up, your subconscious mind is in a unique state. It is like wet cement. It is impressionable. It is open. The hardened logic of the day has not yet set in. The gatekeeper of the conscious mind is still drowsy. This is the holy instant where you have the power to imprint the divine design upon your soul before the world rushes in with its demands. However, most people squander this sacred window. They wake up and the first thing they do is reach for their phone. They scroll through the news of disaster. They check emails from angry bosses. They look at social media and compare their lives to the curated illusions of others. By doing this, they are taking the wet cement of their potential and stamping it with the patterns of anxiety, jealousy, and fear. They have lost the day before they have even brushed their teeth. They have set the rudder of their ship toward the rocks, and they wonder why they crash by noon. We are going to rewire your broadcasting station today. We are going to change the channel from the network of worry to the channel of divine joy, and we are going to do it with the morning watch. The work begins the moment your eyelids flutter open. Before you move your body, you must move your mind. You must seize the helm of your ship. You must say out loud with the authority of a sovereign, I attract positive energy everywhere I go. Do not say it like a parrot repeating a meaningless phrase. Say it like a decree. Say it like a captain giving an order to the engine room. You are placing an order with the infinite, and you expect immediate delivery. The error most students make is that they say the affirmation with their lips, but in their hearts, they are rolling their eyes. They say, "I am abundant," but underneath they hear a whisper saying, "You are a fool." This is the house divided against itself, and it cannot stand. That is like ordering a salad while winking at the waiter and pointing to the cheeseburger. The universe receives a mixed signal and delivers a mixed result, usually creating confusion. To wear the garment of joy, you must engage the feeling nature. You must put it on just as you put on your coat. Imagine that there is an invisible cloak hanging by your bedside. It is woven from the substance of light and laughter. When you wake up, visualize yourself reaching out and taking this cloak and wrapping it around your shoulders. Feel the weight of it. Feel the warmth of it. This is not a game of pretend. This is a game of energy. When you visualize this cloak, you are actually building a force field around your aura. This force field acts as a shield against the negativity of the mass mind. When you wear the garment of joy, the criticism of others hits the shield and slides off. The bad news of the world hits the shield and dissolves. You are protected by your own vibration. You are in the world, but you are not of the misery of the world. Let me give you another decree to fasten this garment tight. My life is filled with daily joy. Notice the precision of that statement. I did not say someday joy. I did not say joy when the bills are paid or joy when I lose the weight. I said daily joy, today joy, right now joy, because here is a truth that will set you free from the prison of waiting. If you cannot find the vibration of joy in this imperfect moment, you will not find it in the perfect moment. The man who is miserable in a cottage will be miserable in a palace because he carries his misery with him like a shadow. I have watched people receive everything they thought they wanted and remain empty because they never learned to wear the garment. And I have watched people with nothing but faith radiate a light so bright that opportunities chase them down the street. The difference is consciousness. The difference is that one person waited for the world to dress them in joy, while the other dressed themselves. This morning watch requires you to become a guardian of your own threshold. You must treat your mind like a royal garden. In the morning, the soil is fresh. If you do not plant the seeds of success, the weeds of worry will grow automatically. Weeds do not need encouragement. Weeds do not need watering. They grow by neglect. If you wake up and do nothing, you are choosing the weeds. To plant the rose, you must be intentional. You must speak the word. I am a magnet for miracles and unexpected blessings. Say that one and watch what happens. But you must say it with expectation. You must say it like you are opening the front door and you know something wonderful is about to walk through. The universe responds to your faith, not your fear. It responds to your joyful expectation, not your anxious logic. There is a biological reality to this spiritual practice as well. When you wake up and immediately focus on gratitude and joy, you are flooding your body with different chemistry. You are turning off the stress hormones that age you and turning on the vitality hormones that heal you. You are literally signaling your genes to rewrite the code of your health. But if you wake up and focus on the problem, you are marinating your cells in the chemistry of decay. Therefore, the morning watch is not just a spiritual duty, it is a biological necessity for those who wish to live long and well. You are setting the tone for your entire biology. You are telling your heart how to beat and your lungs how to breathe. You are the conductor of the orchestra, and the music begins the moment you wake. I challenge you to try this experiment. For the next 7 days, refuse to touch the technology of the world until you have activated the technology of the spirit. Give yourself the first 15 minutes. Lie in bed and visualize the day going perfectly. See yourself smiling. See yourself handling challenges with grace. See the green lights on the road. See the money flowing into your account. Construct the day in the ether before you step into it in the physical. This is what it means to go before your day and prepare the way. Most people walk into a day that has been created by default. You will walk into a day that has been created by design. You will find that the people who are usually difficult will be strangely cooperative. You will find that the problems that usually baffle you will solve themselves. You will wonder if the world has changed. But the world has not changed. You have changed. You have put on the invisible garment of joy, and the universe is simply responding to your new attire. Do not underestimate the power of this simple discipline. It is the small hinge that swings the big door. The difference between a life of tragedy and a life of triumph is often just those first few minutes of the morning. It is the difference between drifting in the ocean without a rudder and steering the ship with purpose. The drifter ends up on the rocks. The captain ends up in the harbor of gold. You are the captain. The morning is your ocean. The thoughts are your rudder. Do not let the ship drift. Seize the wheel. Put on the garment. Declare the truth. And sail into the day with the full assurance that the divine storehouse has already prepared the feast you ordered. The table is set. The music is playing, and your seat is waiting. All you have to do is dress for the occasion. Before we proceed to uncover the dangerous trap that destroys the progress of 90% of spiritual seekers, I invite you to pause for a moment of energetic alignment. You are currently absorbing high-frequency knowledge that has the power to rewrite your destiny. If you have watched this far, it is because your soul is recognizing the truth and vibrating in harmony with this message. Do not let this moment pass without anchoring your intention. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, consider this your sign to do so right now. By clicking that subscribe button, you are building a bridge between your current reality and this higher teaching. You are saying to the universe that you want more of this wisdom and that you are ready to walk the path of the Master. Also consider who in your life needs to hear this. Share this video with a friend who is struggling or a family member who has lost hope. Be the vessel that delivers the key to their liberation. When you share light, your own path becomes brighter. Now take a deep breath, for we are about to confront the hidden enemy of the double mind. We have spoken of the divine restaurant where you place your orders, and we have spoken of the morning watch where you set the rudder of your ship. But now we must confront the greatest enemy of the spiritual student. This enemy is not the devil, and it is not the economy, and it is not the circumstances of the world. The enemy is the double mind. There is an ancient spiritual axiom that states a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. This is the trap that ensnares the majority of diligent seekers. They perform their spiritual work in the morning with great enthusiasm. They say their affirmations, and they visualize their success, and they read their spiritual books. They put on the garment of joy at 8 a.m. But then they walk out the door and spend the next 12 hours systematically contradicting everything they just established. They become a house divided against itself. They affirm abundance at breakfast and then complain about the price of gasoline at 10. They affirm perfect health in the shower and then describe their aches and pains in vivid detail to a coworker at lunch. They affirm peace during meditation and then spend 2 hours doom scrolling through the chaos of the world, soaking up anxiety like a dry sponge. You cannot do this and expect a harvest. You are acting like a mad gardener who plants the seeds of prize-winning roses in the morning and then pours acid on them all afternoon. Then, when the garden remains barren, you look at the sky and blame God for the lack of flowers. The fault is not in the soil, and the fault is not in the seed. The fault is in the acid of your double-mindedness. You must understand that the universe is always listening. It does not stop taking dictation when you finish your morning prayers. The scribe we discussed earlier follows you into traffic. It follows you into the office. It follows you into the grocery store. If you spend 5 minutes affirming wealth and 5 hours complaining about bills, which signal do you think is stronger? The universe responds to the dominant vibration. If your dominant vibration is complaint, then your morning affirmation was nothing more than a wish cast into a hurricane. It is swallowed up by the force of your negativity. To be a master of the law, you must be single-minded. You must maintain the vibration of the wish fulfilled even when the senses deny it. This requires a vigilance that feels like mental martial arts. You must place a sentinel at the gate of your mind. this sentinel must be armed with the sword of truth. When a negative thought approaches the gate, asking for entry, the sentinel must say, "Halt. Do you belong to the divine design? Or do you belong to the old consciousness?" If the thought brings fear or doubt or criticism, the sentinel must deny it entry. You cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought. Let us look at a practical example of how this plays out in the trivialities of daily life. You are driving to an important meeting and you hit a traffic jam. The old double-minded consciousness immediately reacts. You grip the steering wheel. Your blood pressure rises. You start broadcasting thoughts of lateness and incompetence and anger. In that moment, you have canceled your morning decree of peace. You have ordered chaos from the divine restaurant. But the single-minded master handles this differently. When the traffic stops, the master stops the thought. He does not finish the sentence of complaint. He arrests the thought before it becomes a thing. He reframes the reality instantly. He says, "I am grateful for this safe vehicle. I choose to remain peaceful in this pause. I declare that time is elastic, and I will arrive at the perfect moment." By doing this, he protects his vibration. He refuses to come down from the high place. And often because of this refusal, the traffic clears, or the meeting is delayed, or the person he is meeting is also late. The universe rearranges itself around his peace. But if he had succumbed to the anger, he would have arrived, flustered and defeated, creating a negative outcome. Every single moment of your day is a crossroad. Every thought is a vote for the future you are building. You are either gathering momentum toward the divine design, or you are gathering momentum toward chaos. There is no neutral thought. There is no idle word. Every word is a brick. You are either building a palace or a prison. Most people are builders who lay bricks by day and knock them down by night. They take one step forward in their prayers and 2 steps backward in their conversations. They are on a spiritual treadmill, moving their lips but going nowhere. To break this cycle, you must become a fanatic about your own speech. You must realize that complaining is the language of poverty. Blaming is the language of victimhood. Gossiping is the language of smallness. If you want to be great, you must speak the language of greatness, which is appreciation and vision. You must refuse to lend your voice to the chorus of despair that is singing in the world. When everyone else is talking about how hard times are, you must be the one who talks about how great God is. When everyone else is talking about illness, you must be the one who talks about health. You must be the anomaly. You must be the light that refuses to dim. I want to give you a specific technique to shift your frequency instantly when you catch yourself slipping into the double mind. It is simple, but it is nuclear in its power. It is the practice of finding 5 things to appreciate. To the intellectual mind, this sounds like a child's game. The intellect wants a complex solution. It wants a ritual with candles and incense. But the spiritual mind knows that gratitude is the premium fuel of manifestation. Gratitude is the highest vibration because it is an acknowledgement of good received. When you appreciate what is right, you are broadcasting a signal of increase. You are telling the universe, "I like this, please give me more of this." And the universe, which loves to be appreciated, opens the windows of heaven. But when you focus on what is wrong, you are broadcasting a signal of lack, and the universe gives you more to complain about. Let us try this spiritual experiment right now, where you stand or sit. I want you to shift your focus from the screen to your environment. I want you to look around and find 5 things you can appreciate. Do not look for burning bushes or parting seas. Look for the simple functional blessings that you have become blind to. Look at the chair that is supporting your weight right now. It is holding you up so you do not have to stand. Appreciate the chair. Look at the technology that is bringing this voice to your ears. 1,000 geniuses worked to create this device so that wisdom could travel through the air to you. Appreciate the technology. Look at the roof that shelters you from the elements. Look at the water that flows from your tap. Look at your own hands, which serve you faithfully every day. Find 5 things. Count them on your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you identify them, feel a genuine thank you rising in your heart. Do not just think the word thank you. Feel the emotion of gratitude. Feel the relief of recognizing that you are supported. Did you feel that subtle shift in your atmosphere? Did you feel the tension drop from your shoulders? That is positive energy. That is the vibration of the kingdom. You just created it out of nothing. You did not wait for the world to change. You did not wait for the check to arrive in the mail. You changed your vantage point, and the world changed with you. This is the power you have always possessed. It is the rod of authority that has been lying at your feet while you wept for help. You can perform this technique of the 5 things anywhere. You can do it in a boardroom when the tension is high. You can do it in a hospital waiting room. You can do it in the middle of an argument. By finding 5 things to appreciate, you disconnect from the matrix of fear and plug back into the source of power. You stop the leak in your vessel. This practice of appreciation is the antidote to the double mind. You cannot be grateful and worried at the same time. You cannot be appreciative and angry at the same time. The mind can only hold one dominant emotion. By choosing gratitude, you are evicting the fear. You are forcing the shadows to flee. This is how you maintain the garment of joy that you put on in the morning. You fasten it with the buttons of gratitude. Throughout the day, the world will try to rip that garment off you. The news will try to stain it. Your own ego will try to tear it. But if you keep coming back to the 5 things, you keep the garment secure. You keep your broadcasting station tuned to the high frequency. You must remember that you are a lighthouse. A lighthouse does not turn off its light because the storm is raging. That is when it shines the brightest. When the storm of the day hits you, that is not the time to join the darkness. That is the time to double down on your light. That is the time to find your 5 things. If you can hold your peace when everything around you is falling into chaos, you have mastered the world. You have become a king or queen of your own consciousness. And the promise is that if you can hold the vibration of peace, the chaos must eventually order itself around you. The storm must bow to the silence of your soul. But if you join the chaos, you are swept away by it. So your assignment is clear. You must watch the portal of your lips. You must guard the avenue of your ears. You must be the strict gatekeeper of your thoughts. If you catch yourself slipping into the double mind, do not beat yourself up. Guilt is just another form of negativity. Simply say, stop, cancel that, and then immediately find your 5 things. Reset the dial. Return to the station of joy. Do this 100 times a day if you must. Eventually, you will not have to do it so often because your default setting will shift. You will become naturally grateful. You will become naturally positive. And when that happens, you will find that the universe begins to deliver a quality of life that you previously thought was impossible. You will not just be visiting the kingdom occasionally. You will have taken up residence there. You will no longer be a double-minded man unstable in all his ways. You will be a single-minded master anchored in the truth of your own divinity. There are moments in the human experience where the darkness seems too thick and the positive affirmations we have discussed feel like dry leaves scattering in a hurricane. There are times when you are tired down to the marrow of your bones, and the concept of generating positive energy feels like a labor you simply cannot perform. For those moments when the struggle feels overwhelming and the light feels distant, I must bring you back to a fundamental truth that you have forgotten. This truth is the anchor that holds the ship when the storm is raging. The truth is that you do not have to manufacture joy. You do not have to build it from scratch. You do not have to chase it as if it were a wild animal fleeing from you. You simply have to stop blocking it. You have to stop arguing with it. You have to remove the dam that you have built across the river of your own soul. You must realize that joy is your natural state. It is the spiritual factory setting of your being. It is the clay from which you were molded by the divine potter. Look at the evidence of this truth in the world around you. Observe a child who has not yet been conditioned by the cynicism of the world. Watch a toddler playing with a cardboard box. They do not need a reason to laugh. They do not need a bank account to feel wonder. They do not need a promotion or a relationship status to feel complete. They are joyful simply because they are breathing. They find miracles in a floating dust mote. They find rapture in a soap bubble. Why is this? It is because they are still connected to the source. They have not yet learned the false lesson of conditionality. Society has not yet convinced them that they must suffer to be worthy. They are living in the natural flow of the divine life, where joy is as automatic as a heartbeat. But then the programming begins. The world steps in with its heavy boots and teaches the child to be serious. It teaches the child to worry about tomorrow. It teaches the child that joy is a reward that must be earned through performance and obedience. And slowly, layer by layer, the natural radiance is covered by the dust of the race consciousness. You are that child. Underneath the bills and the responsibilities and the heartbreaks, you are still that radiant being. The joy is not gone, it is simply buried under a pile of false beliefs. Somewhere along the way, you bought into the biggest scam ever perpetuated on the human race. You bought into the lie that joy is conditional. You accepted the contract that says I will only be happy when I have the money, or I will only be at peace when I have the partner. This is a trap. It is a hamster wheel that never ends, because the moment you get the money, the condition shifts to keeping the money. The moment you get the partner, the condition shifts to changing the partner. You are chasing a horizon that moves away from you as you approach it. You must tear up this contract today. You must declare that joy is your birthright, not your reward. You can be joyful right now not because the problem is solved, but because you are alive and connected to the source of all power. When you claim joy without a reason, you confuse the enemy of fear. You break the logic of the world. And in that state of unreasonable joy, you become a magnet for the solutions you have been frantically seeking. But how do we return to this state when the mind is screaming with anxiety? How do we break the hypnotic spell of negativity that has captured our attention? We cannot simply fight a thought with another thought, because in the battle of the mind, the negative thought often has more emotional weight. We need a weapon that is stronger than thought. We need a vibration that can shatter the glass ceiling of our limitations. That weapon is the spoken word. There is a physics to the spirit that you must master. Thought is internal, but sound is creative. Thought is the blueprint, but sound is the brick. When you speak out loud, you are not just communicating, you are detonating energy. The Bible tells us that the walls of Jericho did not fall because of battering rams, they fell because of a shout. The sound vibration shattered the structure of the stone. In your life, your problems are the walls of Jericho. Your silence keeps them standing. Your voice will bring them down. When you are trapped in a loop of worry, your mind is like a broken record playing the same sad song over and over. If you try to just think positive thoughts, it is like whispering at a rock concert. The noise of the worry drowns you out. But when you open your mouth and speak the word of truth aloud, you interrupt the pattern. You force your brain to listen to a new command. The sound of your own voice declaring truth is a shock to the system. It breaks the trance. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you must not just affirm in silence, you must decree with volume. You must stand in the middle of your fear and speak to it. You must say to the mountain, move. You do not think at the mountain, you speak to the mountain. Here is the specific assignment for reclaiming your power through the spoken word. Immediately after you receive this message, I want you to speak one positive statement about your life out loud. Do not mutter it under your breath like a secret. Speak it with the resonance of a bell. It could be something simple, like, "Something wonderful is happening to me today." Or it could be, "I am surrounded by divine love and support." Or it could be, "Money flows to me easily and effortlessly." Pick the one that resonates with your spirit, the one that feels like a soothing balm to your specific anxiety. And then, I want you to speak it 10 times. Why 10 times? Because the first time you say it, your logical mind will reject it. The second time, your doubt will argue with it. The third time, you will feel foolish. But by the fifth time, the rhythm begins to take over. By the seventh time, the vibration begins to change your chemistry. And by the 10th time, you are no longer asking, you are commanding. You are carving a new groove in the neural pathways of your brain. You are drowning out the old record with a new song. Let me give you a specific decree for those moments when life feels heavy and the positive energy feels far away. This is the Joy Finds Me decree. When you are struggling, say this aloud. Joy finds me easily and effortlessly. Say it when you are driving. Say it when you are doing the dishes. Say it when you are crying. Joy finds me easily and effortlessly. Why is this so powerful? Because it stops the chasing. It stops the striving. It acknowledges that joy is a living force that is looking for you. It takes the burden off your shoulders. You do not have to manufacture the joy, you just have to let it catch you. You are giving the universe permission to bless you. You are opening the door that you had locked from the inside. And then comes the second part of this discipline, which is the detective work. The spoken word is the spark, but the attention is the fuel. After you have spoken your decree 10 times, you must become a detective for the evidence. Your mind is a search engine. If you tell it to search for insults and danger, it will find them in abundance. It will misinterpret a glance as a glare. It will interpret a silence as rejection. But if you tell it to search for blessings, it will find them with equal precision. After you declare something wonderful is happening to me today, you must go about your day looking for the slightest hint that it is true. You must be vigilant. If you find a penny on the street, do not dismiss it. Pick it up and say, "This is the first drop of the shower." If a stranger smiles at you, take it as a sign from the angels. If a green light appears when you are in a rush, take it as the universe parting the Red Sea for you. You build your faith by acknowledging the small evidences. Most people are waiting for the mountain to move before they will say thank you. The Master says thank you for the pebble moving, and in doing so, the mountain begins to shake. By looking for the good, you amplify the good. You are telling your subconscious mind, "Yes, this is what we are looking for. Bring me more of this." You are training your reticular activating system to filter out the noise of the world and filter in the music of the spheres. This is how you reclaim the natural state of the child. The child finds the miracle because the child is looking for the miracle. The adult misses the miracle because the adult is looking for the problem. You must become the child again, but a child armed with the authority of the spoken word. We must also speak of the responsibility of your tongue regarding others. Your words are boomerangs. When you speak ill of another person, you are throwing a boomerang of poison. It may or may not hit them, but it will absolutely return to hit you. When you criticize another, when you judge their actions or wish them harm, you are not hurting them. You are poisoning your own well. You are lowering your own vibration to the level of the thing you despise. You cannot speak sickness for your neighbor and keep health for yourself. You cannot speak poverty for your enemy and keep wealth for yourself. The law does not work that way. The law is a circle. What goes out must come back. Therefore, the Master speaks only that which he wishes to see manifest in his own life. Even when dealing with difficult people, the Master uses the power of the spoken word to clear the air. He says, "I see the divine in everyone I meet, and they reflect the divine back to me." He speaks to the Christ within the other person rather than the ego. And often, the other person changes. They stop being difficult, or they simply drift away from his experience. He has changed the script, and they must play the new role or leave the stage. This is the power you hold in your mouth. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. You have been using this power unconsciously to build a prison. Now you must use it consciously to build a palace. You must become a person who is terrifyingly consistent with their speech. You must be the one who refuses to agree with the disaster. When the world says, it is hopeless, you must be the one who says, there is always a way. When the medical report says incurable, you must be the one who says divine health. You are the prophet of your own life. Do not prophesy doom. Prophesy life. Prophesy joy. Prophesy the return of your natural state. Speak until your ears hear it. Speak until your heart believes it. Speak until the universe obeys it. For the word that goes forth from your mouth shall not return to you void, but it shall accomplish that which you please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto you sent it. Send your words out on a mission of joy today, and watch them return with a harvest of miracles. We have explored the internal machinery of your mind and the power of your spoken word, but now we must turn our gaze outward to the visible results of your broadcasting. We must examine the people who populate your world and the resources that flow into your hands. Many students of truth find themselves baffled by their relationships. They ask why they are constantly surrounded by angry people, or why they attract partners who do not value them, or why they seem to be invisible to those they admire. The answer lies in the uncompromising law of magnetic agreement. You must understand that every single person in your life right now is there because of a specific frequency you are emitting. Your friends, your coworkers, your romantic partners, and even your adversaries are not random accidents of geography or chance. They are actors who have been hired by your subconscious mind to play the roles that match your expectations. They are mirrors reflecting the contents of your own soul back to you. If you are broadcasting a signal of insecurity, you will magnetically draw to you those who will exploit that insecurity. If you are broadcasting a signal of self-respect, you will magnetically draw to you those who wish to honor you. The universe is a precise matchmaker that never makes a mistake. This truth is confronting because it removes the luxury of blame. You can no longer point a finger at the difficult people in your life and say they are the problem. If they are in your movie, it is because you wrote them into the script. If you are attracting drama, ask yourself, what signal of discord am I broadcasting from my internal station? If you are attracting criticism, ask yourself where you are criticizing yourself. If you are attracting lack of support, ask yourself where you have failed to support your own dreams. The external world is merely the echo of the internal voice. But this is also the most liberating truth you will ever hear. It means that if you change the signal, the audience must change. You do not have to go out and try to change people, which is an impossible task. You simply have to change yourself. When you raise your vibration, the people around you have only two choices. They must either rise to meet your new frequency, or they must fall away from your experience. You will find that as you commit to joy, the complainers will stop calling you because your energy is no longer a match for their misery. You will find that as you commit to love, the hostile people will either soften in your presence or they will drift out of your life completely. You are the sun and they are the planets. If the sun changes its gravity, the orbits must shift. Let us apply this to the specific and often painful subject of financial supply. Just as you have a relationship with people, you have a relationship with money. Money is not just paper and coin. It is a crystallized form of spiritual energy. It is the symbol of freedom and circulation. Yet, most people treat money like an enemy they are forced to live with. They speak of it with disdain. They worry about it constantly. They declare their lack of it to anyone who will listen. You must stop saying you are broke. You must stop saying you cannot afford it. You must stop saying money is hard to get. Every time you speak those words, you are insulting the law of supply. You are telling the divine storehouse that you prefer poverty. You are placing an order for restriction. Imagine if you treated a friend the way you treat money. If you told your friend every day, I never have enough of you, you are so hard to keep you always leave me, that friend would vanish. Money vanishes for the same reason. It flees from criticism and it runs toward appreciation. To change your financial reality, you must adopt the mindset of the heir. You are the child of the infinite, and the infinite is rich. Therefore, it is unnatural for you to be poor. Poverty is a disease of the mind, not a condition of the pocketbook. I give you this powerful decree to heal your relationship with supply. Abundance flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. Say this every day until it becomes your automatic thought. Say it while you are paying your bills. Instead of resenting the bill, bless it. The fact that you have a bill means you had the credit to receive a service. It means you were trusted. Bless the money that goes out, because in the divine economy, what goes out must come back multiplied if it is sent with love. Change your vocabulary immediately. Instead of saying, I cannot afford this, say, I am not purchasing this at this moment, but the supply is on its way. Instead of saying, I am poor, say, I am building wealth. Instead of saying, the economy is bad, say, my personal economy is under the grace of God and it is flourishing. You are the prophet of your own finance. Prophesy increase, and you will see increase. This same law of magnetism applies to the temple of your body. Your body is the most faithful servant you will ever have. It listens to every word you say, and it eavesdrops on every thought you think. It does not know that you are just venting when you complain about your health. It takes your complaints as instructions. If you walk around saying my back always hurts, my digestion is terrible, I catch every cold that comes around, you are literally hypnotizing your cells into sickness. You are claiming the disease as your own property. When you say my diabetes or my bad heart, you are signing the deed of ownership. Do not own the condition. It is a temporary shadow passing through your system. It is not who you are. You must learn to speak to your body with the authority of the Spirit. You must declare my body is a temple of the living God and it is filled with divine intelligence. My cells are regenerating. My energy is returning. My strength is being renewed like the eagles. When you begin to speak life to your body, you may not see the change instantly, but you will feel the shift in atmosphere. The cells will stop vibrating with the fear you were feeding them and start vibrating with the hope you are now offering. You must become a friend to your biology. Stop criticizing your appearance in the mirror. Stop hating your thighs or your stomach or your face. That hatred is a poison that slows down your metabolism and dims your light. Love your body as it is, and it will transform into what it can be. Love is the great healer. There is no medicine on earth as powerful as a steady stream of loving thoughts directed at your own physical form. Finally, we must address the magnetism of love and support. Many of you feel alone in your journey. You feel that you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders without help. This is an illusion caused by your broadcasting. You have likely been broadcasting the signal of I have to do it all myself because I cannot trust anyone. This signal pushes help away. It creates a force field of isolation. To break this, you must start affirming the presence of your spiritual team before they arrive in the physical. Use this affirmation like a mantra. I am surrounded by people who love, support, and appreciate me. Say it when you are sitting alone in your room. I am surrounded by love. Feel the presence of that love. Visualize the friends who get you. Visualize the partner who adores you. Visualize the mentors who guide you. By doing this, you are creating a vacuum in the universe that must be filled. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you create a space of love in your consciousness, the universe must rush to fill it with loving people. You will find that strangers start being kind to you. You will find that old friends reconnect. You will find that you stumble upon communities that feel like home. This is not luck. It is the law. You have tuned your radio to the frequency of connection, and the music of friendship has begun to play. But you must be consistent. You cannot affirm love in the morning and then go out and act suspicious of everyone you meet. You must walk with an open heart. You must be willing to receive. Many people ask for help, but when it comes, they reject it because they are not used to receiving. You must practice the art of saying yes when the universe offers you a hand. Understand that the law of supply is relentless. It wants to give to you. The pressure of the universe is always pressing against your door, trying to get in. It wants to flood you with health. It wants to drown you in abundance. It wants to overwhelm you with love. The only thing stopping the flow is the barricade you have built with your own negative words and beliefs. Today you are taking down the barricade. You are pulling out the nails of doubt. You are dismantling the walls of fear. You are standing in the open field of your life with your arms wide open, saying, "I am ready to receive." And as you stand there magnetized by joy and anchored in faith, you will see the resources of the world begin to move toward you. The money will come. The health will come. The people will come. Not because you chased them, but because you became the kind of person they could not resist. You have become a magnet for the divine, and the divine holds nothing back from its own reflection. We have now traversed the landscape of the mind, from the divine restaurant where you place your orders to the morning watch where you set your course, but we arrive now at the most critical juncture of our journey. This is the place where the road forks. This is the place where the dreamers are separated from the achievers and the wishful thinkers are separated from the spiritual masters. We must speak of the test of consistency. I know the skepticism that rises in the human heart because I have heard it 1,000 times. You are thinking that if this spiritual law were truly this easy, then everyone on earth would be wealthy and happy and surrounded by love. You are thinking that, surely, it cannot be as simple as changing a thought or speaking a word. And you are right in one respect. The law is simple, but it is not easy. It is not easy because it requires a discipline of the mind that most people are too spiritually lazy to cultivate. The tragedy of the modern age is that we want microwave miracles. We want to say an affirmation once and wake up a millionaire. We want to think a positive thought for 5 minutes and erase 20 years of negative programming. But the universe does not work that way. The universe rewards consistency. It rewards the soul that holds the vision when the night is dark and the evidence is invisible. Most people treat the law of attraction like a lottery ticket. They scratch it for 3 days, and if they do not win the jackpot, they throw it away and go back to their complaining. They say, "I tried that positive thinking stuff and it did not work." But they did not try it. They dabbed at it. They flirted with it. They did not commit to it. You cannot go to the gymnasium once, lift one weight, and expect to look like an Olympian the next morning. If you looked in the mirror after one workout and saw no change, would you quit? Of course not. You understand that the body changes through repetition and resistance. The mind is no different. You are building spiritual muscle. Every time you choose joy over despair, you are doing a repetition. Every time you choose faith over fear, you are lifting the weight. The results are cumulative. The first few days or even weeks may feel like nothing is happening. This is the testing period. This is the valley of the shadow of doubt. The old consciousness is fighting for its survival. It will throw tantrums. It will show you evidence of lack. It will try to drag you back into the comfortable misery of your past. The master knows this game and refuses to flinch. The master knows that the darkest hour is always just before the dawn. Think of your desires as seeds that you have planted in the garden of the divine storehouse. When you plant a seed in the physical earth, you do not see it for a long time. It is buried in the dark. It is surrounded by dirt. To the naked eye, it looks like it is dead. But underground, a miraculous transformation is taking place. The hard shell is cracking. The roots are reaching down to drink the water. The shoot is pushing up toward the heat of the sun. If you were an impatient gardener, you might go out on the second day and dig up the seed to see if it is growing. By doing so, you would kill it. You would expose it to the light before it was ready. This is exactly what you do when you doubt. When you say, "Where is my manifestation? Why hasn't it happened yet?" you are digging up the seed. You are disturbing the soil of the subconscious. You must have the patience of the farmer. You must trust the seasons of the soul. You must water the ground with your faith and let the sun of your joy shine upon it, knowing that the harvest is guaranteed by the law of nature. You do not force the flower to bloom, you allow it to bloom. Consistency is the water. Joy is the sun. This brings us to the final bookend of your day, which is the evening routine. If the morning watch is the rudder that steers the ship, the evening routine is the anchor that holds you safe through the night. You must understand that sleep is not merely a cessation of activity. Sleep is a spiritual workshop. When your conscious mind shuts down, your subconscious mind goes into overdrive. It works all night long on the last instructions you gave it before you drifted off. Most people use this sacred time to give their subconscious a nightmare to work on. They lie in bed and replay the arguments of the day. They calculate their debts. They worry about the meeting tomorrow. They marinate in their anxieties. And so the subconscious mind takes these worries and says, very well, the master wants more of this. I will weave these anxieties into the fabric of his tomorrow. I will make sure he wakes up tired and defeated. We are going to stop this sabotage tonight. We are going to implement a routine that programs your sleep for miracles. When you lay your head on the pillow, you must strictly forbid entry to any negative thought. You must act as the bouncer of your own mind. If a worry comes knocking, you simply say, I am closed for business until morning. Instead, you are going to perform the review of gratitude. You are going to look back over the hours of your day, and you are going to mine for gold. You are going to find 3 things that went well. They do not have to be earth-shattering events. Perhaps the coffee was good. Perhaps the traffic light was green. Perhaps a friend sent a text. You are going to relive those 3 moments. You are going to feel the feeling of them again. By doing this, you are telling your subconscious mind that the theme of your life is success. You are giving it the raw materials to build a better tomorrow. You are literally dreaming yourself into a new reality. As you drift into sleep, you will repeat a simple mantra. You will say, I dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Or you will say, God is my shepherd, I shall not want. Or simply, all is well. Let the last vibration that leaves your conscious mind be a vibration of peace. When you do this, you will find that you need less sleep. You will wake up with answers to problems that baffled you the day before. You will wake up with a song in your heart instead of a dread in your stomach. This is the work of the night. It is the invisible repair shop where the soul is restored. But you must bring the car to the shop. You must bring your mind to the place of peace before you surrender to sleep. And now we arrive at the summit of our discourse. We arrive at the final decree. This is the declaration of your independence from the tyranny of fear. It is the statement of your identity as a co-creator with the infinite. I want you to etch these words into your heart. I want you to carry them with you like a sword. The decree is this: I am a powerful creator, and I choose joy. Let us break this down so you understand the nuclear power contained in this sentence. When you say I am, you are using the name of God. You are connecting your little self with the great self. You are turning on the power switch of the universe. When you say a powerful creator, you are accepting your responsibility. You are admitting that you are not a victim of your parents or the economy or your past. You are admitting that you are the author of the play. You are taking back the pen. And then the choice. I choose joy. Notice it does not say I hope for joy or I wait for joy. It says I choose. Choice is the divine act. It is the collapsing of the wave function. Out of all the infinite possibilities of anger and sadness and fear, you are reaching into the quantum field and selecting joy. You are commanding it to appear. You are making it the law of your being. When you say this decree with conviction, the hell of your life must recede. It cannot coexist with this vibration. The shadows cannot stand before this light. I want you to say it with me now, in the sanctuary of your own heart, or aloud if you can. I am a powerful creator, and I choose joy. Feel the spine straighten as you say it. Feel the dignity return to your spirit. I am a powerful creator, and I choose joy. This is not just a nice thought. This is a battle cry. It is the cry of the soul waking up from the long nightmare of unworthiness. You are no longer the beggar at the gate. You are the owner of the estate. You have the keys to the divine storehouse. You have the combination to the safe. The universe is not holding out on you. It has been waiting for you. It has been waiting for you to stop crying and start commanding. It has been waiting for you to realize that the joy you sought in the world was hidden inside you all along. You are the magnet. You are the broadcasting station. You are the miracle. So, I challenge you today. Do not let this be just another video you watched. Do not let this be just another intellectual idea that you nod at and forget. Make this the turning point. Draw a line in the sand of your history and say that the old way of thinking ends here. Commit to the morning watch. Commit to the evening routine. Commit to the diet of positive words. Commit to the consistency of the master. If you fall off the wagon, do not judge yourself. Just get back on. If you miss a day, do not quit. Just start again. The universe is full of second chances. It is full of grace. But you must do the work. You must hold the vision. You must keep the faith. And if you do, I promise you by the laws that hold the stars in the sky that your life will transform. The health will come. The wealth will come. The love will come. But more importantly than all of that, you will have found yourself. You will have found the kingdom of heaven that is within. And that is the only treasure that moth and rust cannot destroy. Go forth now and be the light you were born to be. The world is waiting for your signal. And now I ask you to make a solemn pact with your own potential. Do not let this video be just another piece of entertainment that you consume and forget. Make it the turning point of your history. Go to the comments section below right now and write your final decree. Write the words, I am a powerful creator and I choose joy. Declare it publicly. Let us build a grid of light that spans the globe, proving that the awakened souls are rising everywhere. When you see others commenting, know that you are part of a powerful army of creators who are reclaiming their birthright. And if you are ready to continue this journey, if you are ready to master the game of life, fully ensure you are subscribed to this channel. We are building a sanctuary of wisdom here, and every new video will be another tool added to your spiritual arsenal. Do not miss what is coming next. Join us, align with us, and let us rise together.